Well, hello there, everyone. It is so great to be with you. I really do appreciate you guys deciding to join me here. Yes, it's been a fun week so far. We start our master topics on Saturday and finish them up on Friday. So, welcome, everyone. If this is your very first time being here, I really do appreciate it. If you've been here one time, 5 times, 10 times, or 100, um, thank you so much. And I also want to say thank you and welcome, but I want to say the words welcome back. Yes, welcome back. So, thank you very, very much again for being here. It really means a lot to me that you've chosen to be here. And that means a lot. So I hope you guys will definitely check things out and see, what's going on because we're doing a lot of cool stuff here. All right. A lot of cool stuff. And I can tell you that there is a lot happening and stuff that I feel many of you guys might miss. So feel free to watch this show again and again. You can visit believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, of course, inspiring creations. If you're thirsty, guys, I got some RO water here with some lemon. Feel free to go get yourself some and or a drink or or maybe another snack or what have you. Don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations after the show is over. You can get you all that great information. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. So without any further ado, guys, let's kick this show off. This is Inspirations for Your Life, if you didn't know. Our master topic for the entire week is protect your energy like it builds your future, because it really does. It's series 5. It's show number 26. And this granular topic for this day, today, Wednesday, which is basically June 24, 2026, how to build internal discipline. Again, it's series 5, show 26, episode 5. And this revolves around self-control, and that's all over the concept of motivation. So let's get right in it, right, everyone? So welcome once again to Inspirations for Your Life. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, yes, and a passionate lifelong learner. And it is so great to be with everyone here. I am a graduate student, yes, at Montclair State University. And again, I'm so grateful now to be a published author. Yes, yes, yes. So today, I'm focusing on something that determines everything else in your life. What is that? Discipline. Not external discipline, internal discipline. There's a difference. The kind that does not depend on motivation. Because you see, guys, motivation will come, it will fade, and that's an important thing to definitely understand. The kind that does not wait for feelings, the kind that executes regardless of conditions. Okay, I think that's a very important one to understand. The core message: motivation is temporary, discipline is structural. Okay, motivation rises and falls with emotion, and I think that catches a lot of people off guard. But it's important to understand that discipline stays when emotion disappears. If you rely, ladies and gentlemen, on motivation, your progress becomes inconsistent. If you rely on basically your systems and your progress becomes stable, that's a different thing. That's the difference between a short term effort and a long term identity. And our identity is what shapes who we are. And ladies and gentlemen, that comes from what? Our core values. Yes, our core values. And I think sometimes people they miss that point, right? They miss the point of the core values. Everything we do is about our core values. Number one, motivation fades, but discipline remains stable over time. Now, consistency is built on structure, not emotion, guys. Many people think it is emotion, but it's not built on that. Number two, you must act even when you do not feel ready. Maybe you're tired. Maybe the weather is bad. Still got to act. Readiness is often a delay mechanism. That's key, guys. Number 3, feelings are not reliable indicators of action. They shift too quickly and they guide consistency. Okay? If we go too quick, we'll miss the consistency. Number 4, systems always outperform emotional decisions. Hands down. We never hire or fire on emotions. We do it on logic. Structure beats impulse every single time. Why do we keep doing it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because people are comfortable and they just want to keep doing that over and over and over and over again. So that's an important thing to think about, right? Number 5, showing up daily removes internal negotiation. Routines eliminate hesitation. Now, they're not easy to get going. I will grant you that they're not easy to get going, but they do have a pretty big following once you get them going. Number 6, small habits create long-term transformation. Repetition compounds quietly. Number 7, discipline builds trust in yourself. Self-belief is earned through action. Action. Number 8, consistency is more powerful than any level of intensity. Sustained effort beats short bursts. Now, some people might think, oh, gee, if I'm strong for a short period of time, that's great. But really, guys, it's a facade. And you're just going to be like, how do I even do this? And you're going to have days where it's going to be easy. You're going to have days that are just going to be like, what do I do today? How do I even start? Right? And those things can pull you down. So it is important to have a good routine. Number 9, waiting for the perfect moment delays progress. Guys, I've said there's no perfect moment or time. Perfection is often an avoidance in disguise, right? Done is better than perfect. You can always go back and make something better. Every single time you can do that. Number 10, action creates clarity faster than thinking. Movement reveals direction. Direction. A lot of people, you know what happens, guys? They lack direction. They become part of direction when something's not working because they have to change something, right? That's important. I'll tell you that's important to know. Yeah. I think when we know the direction we're going, life becomes a little bit easier. I'm not saying it's easy, but it becomes easier when we know the direction that we are moving toward, right? I think that's a very important thing to understand. I know that can trip everyone up, right? I know that can be hard for a lot of people, but guys, it's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. And they say the truth will set you free. And it will. But you first have to understand where truth is coming from. Is it coming from the north, the south, the east, the west, or is it not coming at all? Are you making up what the truth really is? I think that can hurt people. If we make up what the truth is, then that can really cause us to be, I'm going to say that can cause us to be confused, right? And the reason it can cause us to be confused is because when we don't know what's happening, we suddenly get confused. And so we figure, well, maybe we should give up. Maybe we should do something else. But I want to tell you guys, you don't give up. Don't you dare give up. Okay? That's an important piece of the puzzle, to not ever, ever, ever give up. All right? I know you're probably saying, John, I don't get this. It's not easy. I understand. But I want to tell you that it's something that you will get after you work at it. Because you see, A lot of times people go for that shorter, that faster, that easier road, but that road is not the best road. It seems like it is because it's quick, right? Sometimes it's cheap, but I'll say what I've said before. If you put the time in now and things are harder now, later will be easier. If you do things easier now, later will be harder. I'd rather have later easier. So it's okay to have it harder now. Number 11, your habits gradually define your identity. We've said this many times. Behavior becomes who you are inside. Number 12, routines reduce mental resistance. Automation and the automation of it removes friction, making your actions automatic or possible. Less thinking creates more execution. And what could be better than more execution? Well, understanding why things work or why things don't work. I think that's a I think that's something that many people get tripped up on, right? They get tripped up on it. Number 14, we've all fallen into this boat before. It's called decision fatigue. Yes. And decision fatigue weakens discipline. Yeah, it does. Simplification strengthens control, guys. When we make something easier, we're able to understand something better. Okay. Number 15, winning your mornings sets your entire day. Early structure creates momentum. Momentum. And I think when we can have a small win in the morning, it's like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. That was so great. Right. But I think it can cause challenges for people because, again, they're confused. They don't know how things are working. If we make things easier and less complex, we're probably going to be able to do them faster in the beginning. We could always make things harder down the road, but why do we want to make things hard? I mean, that's probably the question that I want to ask you. Why do we want to make things harder? Okay. And it's important to understand that you can change, but it comes down to who you are. And maybe you're going to say to me, John, I've done this, I've tried this, but it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because you probably were either not consistent, okay, or you didn't have a structure. You have to have both to be successful. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care whether you're baking bread, whether you're cutting lawns, whether you're balancing a budget, whether you're engineering a world rocket ship. You have to have those two things, consistency and structure. Number 16, guys, your environment influences your discipline. Surroundings shape our behavior, even with us not being aware of it. It's, well, unconscious. So our unconscious really does affect our lives. People think it doesn't. Surroundings, you go to certain places, they paint things a certain way. Why? Because they want your, let's say, neurological system to be in aligned a certain way. I think that's an important thing is that when we know that we have more confidence, but confidence doesn't appear like that. It could take some time. Number 17, non negotiables protect your progress. It's okay to have non negotiables. Absolutely okay. But don't go back. Don't renege on that. That's an important thing. Do not renege on that, right? Keep them in play no matter what. Boundaries create consistency. Don't be making exceptions or looking for ways that you can, do that. Because when you do that, guys, you actually hurt yourself. You hurt yourself. And nobody wants to hurt themselves, do they? But they do because the body's craving something. And the body is craving order, not chaos. When the body understands order, when the body can just go in a flow, it becomes easier. Number 18, guys, tracking progress reinforces commitment. Measurement builds awareness, guys. I said before, if we cannot measure it, we definitely cannot change it. If we cannot measure it, we cannot change it. So we have to be able to figure out how we measure something, right? And once we can do that, then we know that if we change the inputs, we will get different outputs. We know that. That's a fact. Number 19, guys, accountability increases execution quality. Question I have for you is, why are so many people not accountable? They punched out a certain time and then they left. But why? I think it comes down to the fact that most people, when they see an easy way out, they want to take it. Not everybody. And they've learned that when you do that, it doesn't work, but they don't catch that until later on, until they've unfortunately gone down the wrong path, till they've had the misfortune, unfortunately. People always think you can cut corners and no one will notice, or that you can get by and it won't make a difference, right? Like if you buy a brand name of cheese versus one that's not a brand name. Is there a difference? There could be, right? The taste, the consistency, the texture. There absolutely could be differences, and then there may not be. But usually there are. If you pay a little more, usually it is worth more. Responsibility sharpens focus. So when we understand that our responsibility sharpens focus, we're more apt to pay attention to it. Other people will start paying attention to our mannerisms, and that will get them to either want to be with us or not. It's making an impression. And they've said this many times before. You cannot go back and make a first impression ever again. You can only do it one time. You can only do it one time. I think that's an important thing, guys. You can only do it one time. Number 20. Doing hard things daily will build resistance. I'm not going to say you're going to like it, but it will build resilience. Challenge creates strength. It's good to raise the bar. I'm not telling you to raise it out of the stadium, but I'm telling you to raise it a little bit of time, because if you raise it too much, you're going to actually, you're going to get disappointed. I think that's a hard thing, because if you get disappointed, you're maybe not going to put the full effort in anymore. So raise the bar a little bit at a time. Okay? Raise it so it's just a little bit more difficult. Don't make it that it's going to stress you out, but raise that bar and keep raising it. When you reach it, raise it again. Number 21, growth requires discomfort. I have said this so many times that growth requires discomfort. Right? Why? It's because we have to get used to doing something different. Maybe it's something new. Maybe we have to change our pattern. Maybe we're afraid that we may not be good at it. And so we put all these what ifs in our mind instead of actually focusing on learning the task at hand. Do we think the task is just going to fall away? No. So why do we spend so much time procrastinating about doing something Just learn it. You got to learn it anyway. Comfort limits expansion. I said before, everybody wants the warm blanket, or they want the air conditioning, or they want to feel comfortable in the plush chair. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm here to tell you that if you want to grow, things are going to become uncomfortable. I didn't say painful. I said uncomfortable. Right? So discomfort is part of our daily development. Resistance signals progress. And that's something you should understand. It's not going to come very easy for you. But I can tell you this, it will get easier the more that you move on. The more that you move on, the easier it will become. It's not going to do that overnight, guys. The more that you chip away at something, the easier it will be for you. Next time you go to it, you may not be chipping away. You might find that, wow, I actually got this. Right? Number 23. Hey, there's that word again. Structure keeps you aligned when the motivation drops. Motivation is nice, but it doesn't last. Because motivation is tied to our current state of how we feel. And if we feel a certain way, we still got to keep doing what we need to do. We still got to keep the consistency. We still got to keep the structure, regardless. Systems stabilize behavior. When we learn how to build systems and we learn how to repeat them and use them, our behavior starts to grow. That's important, guys. Number 24, keeping promises to yourself builds identity strength. Self-trust comes from the follow-through. And many people don't want to follow through because, well, they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what the responsibility is. Number 25, discipline compounds over time like interest does in the bank. Repetition multiplies results. So if we get a little bit better each day, that's a win. It's a win. And I think a lot of people, when they get better, like, well, I got this better, but I'm not as good as I should be. Okay, you're not as good as you should be. But why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? I want to know that. I want to know why you are complaining. Why are you complaining? And I think the reason you're complaining is that you are not where you want to be. So you figure it's easier to complain and whine. It's not going to be good. People around you don't want to be around people that complain. You're going to demotivate yourself too. Number 26. Mental toughness is built through repetition. The more that we repeat and we practice, the better we become. That doesn't happen day one. Does a baseball player that's just learning how to play ball, maybe not in pro, but in, let's say, some of the, maybe in the varsity leagues, is he ready for Major League Baseball? No. Could he be ready? Sure. He's got to keep practicing. He's got to build that resilience, right? Build that mental toughness. See, consistency strengthens the endurance. But again, it's not going to be comfortable. Sorry, it's not a picnic. Number 27. Reliability is a learned behavior. It's not built. It's not inherited. It's something we learn. And when we learn that, it's like, oh, now I get it. Now I understand. Right? Now I understand how or why that works. But if I don't understand that, I start making excuses to why something's not working. And I think that's a very big problem for a lot of people. They just make excuses. And making excuses might seem great because you have a way to shirk the responsibility and you have a way to procrastinate. But tomorrow never comes. You keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and you don't really get anywhere. You just keep having a bunch of empty promises, a bunch of disappointments to yourself and even others. Number 28, execution is the final form of discipline. Thinking without action is incomplete, right? My grandfather always said, John, we have to measure twice and cut once. What did he mean by that? He meant that you can't make something longer. You can always make it shorter, but you can't make it any longer. I think that's a very important thing. And when we understand that, when we can embrace that, it's only then that we can grow. Number 29, guys, you become what you repeatedly do under pressure. And pressure reveals your identity. Number 30, guys, internal discipline is the foundation of all success. Everything else, well, it depends on it. It's part of the foundation. Can't have one without the other. In closing today, I'd like to wrap up and say a few things. So here is the truth. Are you guys ready for the truth? Can you handle the truth? I hope you can. You do not need more motivation. You need stronger structure. You need consistency, because motivation will leave you from time to time, but discipline will stay with you at your side all the time. And when discipline becomes internal, you no longer wait to act. You simply execute. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. This has been Inspirations for Your Life. And this is where discipline becomes identity. I invite you to check out this show and other shows right now by visiting believemeachieve.com. You can get my short form content, my long form content, my articles, reels, and so much more. Oh, and you could do it 24 hours a day. If you can't sleep, or maybe you need something while you're on the treadmill, pop in one of my pieces of content. It might just change your day or your life. Have a great one, everyone, and be well.